The information presented in this podcast is offered for educational purposes only. Presenting it is not intended to and does not create a provider-patient relationship between any presenter and anyone else. About the medical topics addressed, presenters provide general information only, not diagnosis or recommended treatments or any other information specific to any individual. Listeners are encouraged to see their own healthcare professional about all topics addressed on Talk Tuesdays or for any other medical problem.
Welcome to Talk Tuesdays, brought to you by My Virtual Physician, a direct-to-consumer, multi-specialty telemedicine company that operates in multiple states. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Stephanie, and I'm part of the team here at My Virtual Physician. We are a direct-to-consumer, multi-specialty telemedicine provider operating in multiple states. It's Talk Tuesday, and we're back with our weekly educational series, talking with our experts and healthcare concerns that we see, and hopefully answering some questions that you may have. Today, we have Dr. Kessler back on again. He was with us last week, and he's one of our telemedicine providers. We're talking about coping with anxiety during the holidays. So, hello, Dr. Kessler. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Stephanie. Good to be with you again.
Well, the holiday season is upon us. I know that this year has already been challenging for so many, and some people are already stressed or anxious and not looking forward to the holidays. Is it normal to have anxiety during this time?
Well, absolutely, especially given this year so far, and it's very common to have anxiety, during this time. Now, when we look at the Oxford Dictionary, then anxiety is really defined as feelings of worry or nervousness or also unease, and typically about an event or something that has an uncertain outcome that may be coming. And as you can imagine, these can be normal and also natural. However, many people have these feelings from time to time. Now, during the holidays, especially, Americans may even feel some financial strain as it can be a season of shopping and also of gift giving. And then, of course, they may have to come together with family members that they don't often see or even grieve, to be separated from all the loved ones, especially now with COVID. And all those relationships, can still be very challenging. And that creates even more anxiety and more worries. But many adults also have very unrealistic expectations for the holidays, and that can also create anxiety. And now, with our busy schedules, there's definitely that burden of the holiday events and activities that can make even the strongest of us feel anxious and restless.
Yeah, that makes sense. The holidays can definitely cause anxiety, worry, nervousness, unease. So when is anxiety abnormal or when is it a problem?
Well, so you always have to look at the individual situations. In some cases, those thoughts or feelings become intense and excessive, or individuals may become focused on common everyday events or situations that generally should not produce those feelings, or at one time did not make the person feel that way. This type of anxiety usually can cause physical symptoms such as sweating, a racing heartbeat, or even weakness and feeling tired all the time. Now, the second, more extreme sense of anxiety may sometimes even be out of the norm. And then, of course, this may require evaluation by a healthcare professional.
Yeah. So are there other symptoms other than the intense feelings you mentioned that someone could look for or identify as signs that they can get help or that they should get help or someone they know or care about should see a physician?
Absolutely. So, symptoms of an anxiety disorder can vary from person to person. So, if someone is concerned, they should definitely talk to their doctor. Now, other signs or symptoms can also include the following. For example, some people may have uncontrollable or intrusive thoughts. Then, some people may have some fears that can prevent people from doing things like driving or going to certain places or even being alone. Then, of course, there could be some worries that can interfere with, school activities, schoolwork, or even family responsibilities. Some people have sudden episodes of panic, trouble concentrating, episodes of dizziness, and even stomach symptoms like, feeling nauseous, having some diarrhea. And then, of course, a big one that a lot of people will feel is trouble sleeping, either trouble going to sleep or staying asleep.
Yeah, for sure. So, Dr. Kessler, these may be reasons to talk to your doctor about your anxiety, but for our listeners who may experience some mild feelings of stress or worry around the holidays, and maybe they're reluctant to talk to anyone about them yet, can you tell us about some coping mechanisms, especially with anxiety during the holidays?
Of course, of course. So there are definitely some steps that people can take on a daily basis to manage mild anxiety. So probably the most important thing is self-care and self-awareness. Many people overlook taking care of themselves during the season, which is often about giving to others. But you also have to be aware of how you're feeling and also to take care of your mental and physical health during this time, almost like being a little bit selfish for your own healthcare needs. So there are 5 things that we can all do to try to stay healthy and happy this holiday and also keep anxiety at bay. Number one would be adequate hydration. So, drinking enough water, about 8 to 10 glasses of water each day, is incredibly important because when you are dehydrated, you really will not feel your best. And also keep in mind, drinks like coffee, caffeine, alcohol may even contribute to anxiety. So, it can be helpful to cut this caffeine and alcohol for a time. Number two, I would definitely also focus on good nutrition because stress can cause changes in your metabolism or how you burn energy. Skipping meals can even lead to drops in blood sugar that can also wreak havoc on your system. It is therefore very important to always eat regularly and maximize all nutrient intake with healthy foods. And of course, taking a multivitamin is also not going to hurt. And number three, which we alluded to earlier, is sleep is really, really critical. According to some of the National Sleep Foundation guidelines, they say that the average adult needs about 7 to 9 hours of sleep. So staying up late at holiday parties, getting up early to wrap presents can be detrimental to our health. So therefore, practicing good sleep hygiene by setting a bedtime and sticking to it when you can is very, very important. Here, I want to make a special notice. A wonderful book that's out there is called Say Goodnight to Insomnia, which is available on Amazon or Kindle. Number four, we want to be connected to others, especially now during COVID. This is more critical than ever because social isolation can always be a symptom of anxiety and may also even trigger it. So during the holiday season, you want to make it a point to really stay connected to family and friends. We want to communicate by phone or Zoom or in person when possible. When separated from loved ones, we always want to look for settings where we can maybe also volunteer. There are many, many charities that offer opportunities to serve because, as you know, being with others can suppress feelings of anxiety or depression. And it is therefore always helpful to share feelings with others and reach out when you can. And then finally, number five, we always want to be intentional with our schedules. So this means we have to set boundaries with our time. We do not want to feel about having to decline invitations if they necessarily cause stress, anxiety, or depression. We want to limit events that can cause excessive worry. Of course, you always want to be connected, but you also want to be selective in some way and make the best out of this holiday season. So, therefore, it is also helpful to stick to your normal routine because change can cause stress. So, just that we are all aware of that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Kessler. You've given us some great tips for coping with anxiety during the holidays. I appreciate you joining us for Talk Tuesdays and telling us what we need to know about anxiety. For everyone else joining us as well, this has been Talk Tuesday with My Virtual Physician. If you would like to talk with one of our board certified physicians about your health concerns, you can check out our website at www.myvirtualphysician.com. We look forward to talking with you again, and we hope you have a great week.
Thank you.
The information presented in this podcast is offered for educational purposes only. Presenting it is not intended to and does not create a provider-patient relationship between any presenter and anyone else. About the medical topics addressed, presenters provide general information only, not diagnosis or recommended treatments or any other information specific to any individual. Listeners are encouraged to see their own healthcare professional about all topics addressed on Talk Tuesdays or for any other medical problem.